Hello friends, welcome to the world of Lean Six Sigma. I am MBA Mohit Sharma and I am your mentor and coach on Lean Six Sigma problems. In today's video, we will talk about 7 basic tools of quality. They are also known as 7 QC tools. This concept originated in Japan when the country was undergoing a major quality revolution. It had become a major mandatory topic as part of Japanese industrial training program. These tools were often referred as 7 basic tools of quality because these tools could be implemented by any person with basic training in statistics and were simple to apply to solve quality related complex issues. I already have a video on 7 QC tools, but in this video I will try to explain these 7 QC tools in detail with their examples and Minitab working. So let's get started. What are 7 QC tools? 7 QC tools are basic quality tools which help in resolving business issues through data collection and analysis, root cause identification, identifying solutions through data stratification, and controlling the improved state. 7 QC tools are cause and effect diagram, it is also known as fishbone diagram, Pareto chart, scatter diagram, flow chart, histogram, checklist, and control chart. So let us get into the video and I will explain these tools one by one. Cause and effect diagram. It is also known as fishbone diagram and it identifies many possible causes for an effect or a problem. It can be used to structure a brainstorming session and it immediately sorts ideas into useful categories. The head of the fish is the effect or the problem. Then we have 6 causes which are already listed here. The first one is called the manpower or people. Second one is machine. Third is material. Fourth is method. Fifth is measurement. And sixth is mother nature. So let us take an example. I will take an example from a daily life to help you understand this tool better. Late to office is one of the common problems in all the corporates. So people get late to office and there is a brainstorming session which was conducted to identify what are the causes to this particular problem. The first one is traffic jam due to rain. So this cause is listed under mother nature. The second is alarm clock time is incorrect, which is under measurements. And the next are missed setting the alarm. The person has missed setting up the alarm, so that is why he could not get up in the morning and that is why he is late to office. Or a wrong route taken by the cab. Like there is a normal route that the person takes, but today the person has taken a wrong turn and that is why he is reached late to office. So all these two causes will come under method. The next are under manpower, pool partner delayed and cab driver was told wrong pickup time. These are the two sub causes under manpower. The tire puncture or car broke down are the two sub causes which are under machine. And material, the person has drank cough syrup by mistake and that is why the person has overslept and could not get up in the morning. So this cause is the funny one I just added for humor. So with the help of this example, I was trying to explain to you what is the fishbone diagram and what are different causes which can be classified under different subheads under a fishbone diagram. So let's move on to the second QC tool, which is called a Pareto chart. Pareto chart is also known as the Pareto principle. It is also known as 80-20 rule. So what is this principle? The Pareto principle states that for many events, roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. And what are the use of Pareto chart? So during any Six Sigma project, the intention of the project lead is to identify and work on those minimum causes which can maximize the impact on the project goal. So Pareto chart helps Six Sigma professionals to identify those top 20% causes. And it is also used as a tool for pictorial representation of discrete data. So let us go to Minitab and I'll explain there how a Pareto chart is created. So I have some data in column C1 and C2. Column C1 is the number of defects and column C2 is the count of defects. So how to create a Pareto chart in Minitab? We will go to Stat, Quality Tools and Pareto chart. Click on Pareto chart. In defects or attribute data, enter defects. You can double click on this to select, and in frequencies in column, you can select count. Double click on it to select and click OK. So this is the kind of chart that you will get, and it is known as a Pareto chart. You can see careless mistakes, spelling mistakes, and salutation mistakes. These are the top three errors which are contributing to 80% of the problem. So if a team leader has to create a training plan to improve the quality of the team, he can work on these three error types and can improve 80% of the problem. That is why the Pareto chart is used. With that, we move on to the next QC tool. And the next QC tool is scatter diagram. A scatter diagram is a graph that shows the relationship between two variables. One variable is called the dependent variable, which is the cycle time in this case, and the other variable is called the independent variable, which is hold time in this case. So this scatter plot represents cycle time versus hold time. Cycle time of a call and hold time during a call. So there is a positive relationship in this particular graph which is depicted here. Why it is called a dependent variable? Because if the hold time is more, cycle time will also increase. So with the increase of hold time, cycle time increases. That is why cycle time is called as dependent variable. Let us go to Minitab and see how this can be created in Minitab. I have this data which is cycle time versus hold time in column C4 and C5. To create a scatter plot, we will go to graph and scatter plot. I will select with regression. This will create a regression line also. In Y variable, I will enter cycle time, and in X variable, I will enter hold time, and I will click OK. So you can see the cycle time and hold time. This is the fit line which is created, which is not exactly on the points, but there is a fit line which is created. And if you take the cursor on this particular line, it will show the fit line, which is cycle time is equal to 1.579 plus 10.2 hold time, and R square value is 90.5%. It means there is a strong positive correlation between this X and Y. There is another relationship which this X and Y can create, and that relationship could be a negative relationship. Means on increasing the X, the Y is decreasing, or vice versa. So if I have to create that, I will go to stat again, scatter plot, and with regression, click OK. Under Y variable, I will enter process time, and under X variable, I will enter tenure and click OK. So this is a negative relationship between X and Y. When my tenure is increasing, my processing time of processing the invoices or creating the products or documents is going down. So when my tenure is increasing, my processing time is going down. So processing time is equal to 11.10 minus 0.1533 into tenure. It means there is a negative correlation because you can see there is a negative sign here in front of 0.1533. And R square value is 18.7%, which indicate that this is a very weak relationship between this X and Y. So any relationship which is greater than 65% is considered as strong relationship, and that is when you can consider that particular X is impacting your Y. In this case, we can say that tenure is not really impacting the processing time because the R square adjusted value is 18.7% only. The next QC tool is called the flowchart. A flowchart is a type of diagram that represents a workflow or a process. Flowchart should be created from left to right or from top to bottom. So it should be created like this. So this flowchart is from top to bottom. So this is how a flowchart is created. A flowchart is a tool which can help any process identify the non-value added steps or activities in the process. So that can be done with the help of a flowchart. The next tool is called histogram. A histogram is an accurate representation of distribution of a numerical data. It is an estimate of the probability distribution of a continuous variable. It differs from a bar graph as bar graph relates two variables, but a histogram relates only one. This is how a histogram looks. Let us go to Minitab and see how a histogram can be created. So here in column C10, I have time data. I have to create a histogram. For that, I will go to graph and histogram. I'll click here. I will create with fit histogram. Here in graph variables, I will enter time data and I will click OK. So this is how a histogram is created, and this graph is also telling you what is the mean of this data, what is the standard deviation of this data, what is the number of data points that I had, which is n. N is equal to 50 here. So this is how a histogram is created, and it can definitely tell you whether the data distribution is normal distribution or a non-normal distribution. So on the face of it, it looks like a normal distribution. You can also check the normality of this distribution by going to stat, basic statistics and graphical summary. And here if you enter this data, which is your time data under variables, and you click OK, you get this particular graph here also. So the p-value here is 0.756, which indicates that the data is normally distributed. Let us move to the next QC tool, which is called the checklist. A checklist is a type of job aid used to reduce failures. Right? So there is a checklist which can be created for any process. Whether we are missing any step or not, it can be checked with the checklist. It helps to ensure consistency and completeness in carrying out a task. And this is how a checklist look like. For example, there are certain points which are written here, and a tick mark can be put once this particular step is complete. The next and the most important seven quality tools is control chart. A control chart is a graph which is used to study how a process changes over time. And a control chart always has a center line for the average, and an upper line for the upper control limit, and a lower line for a lower control limit. So we can call it a time series plot with control limits. The control limits are always plus minus 3 standard deviation from the center line. And this is how a control chart looks like. So this is the upper control limit. This line is the lower control limit. And this line, which is the green line in the center, represents the mean, average. So these two lines, upper control limit and lower control limit, are plus minus 3 standard deviations from this center line, which is the average of this particular data. So let us go to Minitab and see how we can create the most basic control chart, which is called IMR chart. So there are two types of data that we always use. One is called continuous data and one is called discrete. What we are going to learn here is a control chart for continuous data. So let us create one control chart which is called IMR with column number C10, which is time data. We will go to stat, control chart, individual charts for variables, and IMR chart. It is called individual moving range chart. In the variable column, we will select time, double click on it to select, and we will click OK. So this is the IMR chart which has been created. So this is the first graph is called the I chart, which is individual value chart. In this, the control limits are already identified by the system. And this is called the range chart, which is the moving range. Means it is the difference between these 2 points, which is 7.27 minus 4.8 is the difference of these 2 points, and it is 2.441. It is represented by this particular point. If you want to know more about this IMR chart and all other control charts, you can find that video on my channel, and I'll attach the link in the description box, as I already told you. So friends, I hope you would have understood what are these 7 quality tools and how you can use them to improve your process quality, how you can use these tools to identify the problems and then identify the root causes and identify the solutions to those root causes with the help of these 7 QC tools. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. I will see you in my next upcoming video pretty soon. Till then, take care. Bye bye.